Hello, hi, hi Raj.
Hi,
How are you?
good afternoon.
Very
I'm
good
good,
afternoon.
thank you. And how do you do?
I'm doing perfectly fine. Thank you so much for asking. What about you?
I'm doing great as well,
That's
and
wonderful.
it's nice to interact with you. This is our first time.
Correct, correct. As this is our first session, let me just introduce myself to you, and then I would like to know your introduction as well. So I'm Dimpal. I have over 5 years of teaching experience, and I have been working for English Shari recently, and it's great that you're here with me. I hope this session is going to be very exciting with you, and I'll be helping you in learning a lot. Please tell me about yourself.
So, I have been living in Patna throughout my college time when I was in Delhi. And currently, I am working as a tutor. It's been almost a lustrum that I have been doing all this. And recently, I thought of including spoken English in horizon of my teaching skill. That's why I started working on my speaking skills because by then I was teaching English grammar, and I used to think that I'm good at speaking. I'm good at it. I would be able to speak as well. But the moment I started speaking, I got to know that I have to work on different fronts. Because by then I only used to think that I have to work on vocabulary because that is the only aspect where I get stuck. But then I had to, I got to know what is intonation, voice modulation, and I have to work on all these fronts. So it was tough journey especially in the initial few weeks and months, but then I got the gist of this. I got that confidence that I can work on this, and I have improved a lot. But of course there are a lot to work. I have miles to go, so I'm continuing my journey here.
That's wonderful. This language journey is endless, right? The
Yeah,
more you learn, the more you grow. You feel like you have to grow even more because there's no full stop. You're not even for success, not for
right,
learning, not for language learning, for nothing, isn't it?
right.
So I really like
And
that spirit you have.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was appreciating the spirit that you have for learning. Yeah,
Okay.
please say something. Continue.
Yeah, I was saying that since I want to include this spoken English horizon in my teaching skill, I mean a spoken English in horizon of my teaching skill. That's why I'm continuing. Otherwise, I think that I have reached up to a level from where I am almost stuck, like the plateau effect at upper intermediate level. But I mean, this is only hope. That's why I'm continuing, and I hope that I would reach that stage as fast as possible or as soon as possible.
Very sure, very sure. Okay, so after your introduction, I have a few questions in my mind. Would you mind if I ask you?
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
Uh, okay, so first thing I wanted to know, like currently you're working as an English teacher, right?
Not only English, math
Different
and English
subjects.
grammar up to 10th, and accounts at +2.
Okay, so basically you're teaching for the secondary students, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Well, like, are you like, is it your institution that you follow, or is it like you're working with some organization? So, what kind of association is it, and in what ways do you think you have to improve in your spoken? Because there are a lot of aspects, right? Be- Especially
Right.
when it comes to teaching, right? Generally, when you teach English, okay, and when you teach in English, these things are different. Both these things are
Yeah,
different.
definitely. Of course. So, like
So,
I explained to you,
yeah,
sorry, complete your
no, no,
question.
please, it's okay.
Okay, I was saying that, like I explained to you, that I have been teaching and it's been almost a lustrum. Then I teach only, I mean, I have taught in coachings as well, but right now I'm teaching only taking home tuitions only. And
Okay.
I go to the students' home and teach them. And then I'm looking forward to start a coaching center for this, or maybe apply as online. Like I have applied a few times on online, but I didn't get shortlisted. So I'm thinking that okay, there is something of course lacking. I even have not touched C1 as far as speaking is concerned. I keep checking with British Council or other tests that are available. So I have touched C1 in other core skills, but in speaking I have touched only B2. So of course these are the things that I want to work on.
Okay. Okay, Raj. So since it is going to be a teacher to teacher conversation, I will I'll try to reveal you some different things as well. Okay.
Yeah.
We will. I will try to interact as a teacher to teacher conversation. Okay. Not as a teacher student. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, I'll tell you a few things. Now, when you say that you are applying for online platforms, I'm sure you must be applying for English, isn't it?
Yeah. Right.
And if you want to teach online, right? And if you want to, maybe, I'm sure you must be also uploading your lectures over YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, when you teach in English, you are actually catering to a bigger mass of students, right?
Right.
So you are going to reach even in the southern India, even in the northern India, all across the globe, right? If
Right.
your algorithm is very kind enough to give you that boost, right?
Right.
So, when you talk about teaching English and teaching in English, there are two different aspects. When you teach English, you have to be very technical about everything that you're saying. Okay, it's
Right.
not that student is going to, just learn what you have taught, right? They're actually going to acquire from you what you're speaking, how you are speaking, isn't it?
Right.
And this responsibility is even more when you're teaching English. Okay,
Right.
compared to other subjects. Now let's say if you're teaching accounts to a 12th standard student and you're using English, your impact of English is not going to be that severe as it is going to be in the case of English. Okay, so this is very
Right.
clear. I'm sure you know about it. But
Of course.
about this, there is one more thing. Whatever, be it whatever level of English learner, okay, there is one thing that stands you out. Okay, as you have already mentioned, it's about intonation and all those things. So these things comes under presenting your language. Okay, how
Right.
well do you present your language? Everybody knows English, we all have read grammar, we all have gone through the textbooks, we have all read literature, we have all
Right.
practiced some kind of speeches or something like that, isn't it? But still,
Right.
somewhere or the other, we all face problem. But why is that? It's not that you don't know, you already know, you have self analyzed yourself, and that's perfectly right. Okay, but now
Right.
you have to learn about the presentation skills. How do you present yourself? Okay,
Of
how do you
course.
make it engaging? Okay, so for
Right.
you, what you have to work on, because you are aware about yourself, I'll tell you very precisely where exactly you need to work. So the first thing is your presentation skills, and the second is how you engage your students or your listeners. Okay.
Right.
Under these things, there are a lot of things that come in. Number one is your facial expression matters, right?
Yeah.
Your
Right.
empathy matters, isn't it? A
Right.
lot of time we
Yeah.
feel like, why do I need to act like that? But yes, it matters, isn't it?
Right. Right.
If I'm
Of
not
course.
engaging, if I'm not being empathetic, right? If I'm talking happily right now, there is a smile on your face as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
when you are also engaging with me, isn't it?
Right.
So this is about engaging. You need to learn these skills right now. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
In simple words, I'll tell you three things. How do you work on intonation? How do you work on presentation? And how do you engage people? Okay. Number one, I'm sure you must be aware, but it's just to brush it up, and so that you can focus more on it the next time when you're in your class, or. So first thing is, number one, when you're talking about presentation, when you are presenting, your intonation matters. Obviously, intonation is not the bland tone. It is obviously going up and then down, then up and down. Here, two
Right.
things are important. Your empathy. What does this empathy mean? Whatever you're talking about, what you're feeling about it, you have to express that feeling in your way of talking, in your tone. Okay,
Right.
it is going to be difficult. Obviously, it can be acquired. Okay, I'm not saying it can be learned. It can be acquired. You do not have to put in
Yeah.
a lot of effort, right? Even if you're listening to me right now, even if you're observing me right now, you can actually acquire a lot of things just by
Right.
observing me, any other people like whom you admire probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Other thing, the basic trick if I give you, just emphasize on every second or third word of all of your sentences. Okay. Now,
Right.
on an average, a sentence has 7 to 8 words. Okay. So
Yeah.
your tone will be like this. So if you emphasize on second, third, it will go like this, and then it will go like this, and every third, it will be like this. So this is going to be the wave of your tone, your pitch. Okay,
Right.
that is something which hooks the people. Right now, if I'll really suggest you to go back to this recording, okay, and
Yeah.
this is a
Sure.
technique which even I am following right now, which even I am following right now. Got it?
Right.
I'll repeat
Yeah.
again. This is something which even I am following right now. So, got
Right.
the graph? So, this is
Yeah.
a basic trick. Emphasize on every second or third word. You will fall. You'll see this if you go back to the recording. If you find it carefully, this is a pattern even which I am also following. Okay. Second
Yeah.
thing, to engage your audience is number one and the most important. You cannot avoid on making eye contact. Okay,
Right.
this is a virtual
Yeah.
meeting, so even if I see here or see there, it is going to be an eye
Right.
contact unless and until I'm not seeing away and talking. Okay, so hi, yeah, Raj, you need to work on this, you need to work on that, right? Obviously it's not going
Right.
to,
Yeah.
even this is very important. These are, these things are considered as very simple things, but they are actually play a lot of important role. Okay,
Of
so
course.
maybe whenever you are applying somewhere, especially, or if you're uploading your videos online, these are the best places to practice all of these things. Okay,
Of course.
your pronunciation is fine, of course. I feel that your way of speaking is, your way of delivering is fine. It's just that you have to bring that boldness, right? Where to emphasize, where to be soft. Right now, I
Oh.
feel like quite
Yeah.
soft. Might be my presumption. Okay, let's see. We'll see in the upcoming in the conversations ahead. Okay, so
Yeah.
these
Sure.
are basic things, right? So whatever I have told you right now, emphasizing on words, engaging, bold voice, using these three things, we will have our next 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so because it's very important to see whether you are actually going to apply or not. Towards the end, if you have any questions, anything that you want to know or ask, we will be considering it towards the end of the session. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay,
Of course.
so before that, I want to know if you are ready to, if you are interested in talking about the interstellar topic that has been provided for the session.
Oh, now this topic is something that I would not be
Mm-hmm.
able to speak a lot on because science has not been my forte, and like it's been years when I read anything about science. Yet, let's try it. If you can if you can take
Mm-hmm.
something out from me on even this topic, let's
Okay,
say that. Yeah.
that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what thoughts comes to your mind when you look up at the sky in the night or maybe in the daytime?
Well, if I talk about the night, uh, generally I try to see the stars. So whenever I see those stars, I feel nostalgic about my childhood and the way I used to pass my time because that era had lots of power cut in the area where I have grown up. So most of my childhood has been like that. I would be sleeping on the roof of my house. So I get to attach all those nostalgic feelings even today.
Mm-hmm.
And if I talk about daytime, i daytime you don't even want to see over sky, especially in summer. But to some extent, if I talk about the other weather, of course, once again the nostalgic feelings are there because during daytime I used to play lots of cricket. So I used to be in the field and enjoy a lot. So all those feelings are attached Like if you have a stormy weather, so it would attach some nostalgic feelings. So there was a time when I used to uh, play with my friends and do something lot like sometimes even, what do we say, yeah, kite kite flying and all those things. So only these things are there that I can feel of whenever I see this way.
Okay. So obviously in daytime it's really difficult to gaze the sky, but in the evening you love the colorful sky, I'm sure. And
Yeah,
as you mentioned that you used to sleep on the roof, we all have those memories, just gazing at the sky and thinking endlessly about it. Or maybe if not sky, but being lost in the thoughts,
yeah.
isn't it?
And
Okay.
sometimes trying to find that pattern like we used to do in childhood. Somebody
Constellations.
would say, yeah, that look at there is a horse or something like that. So those feelings are attached.
Absolutely correct. you know I'll also share my experience. When I look up in the sky, mostly I would say in the night, I feel like it is representation of your thoughts, because when you see up in the sky you never know where it is going to end,
Right.
isn't it? You just
Yeah,
see the superficial things and you get lost into your own, or either you think of things which is going to be beyond it. And obviously that comes through the exploration, the knowledge, or the interest, we can say, isn't it?
yeah.
As you said that you were like finding the patterns, all these constellations. I was very excited when I learned about the constellation for the very first time in my fourth or fifth standard. And ever since I had always found that pattern. Okay, so these are constellations, but I never knew one of the names. Even till now I don't know the
Yeah,
name. Okay,
yeah.
it's recently when I discovered that there is an app called sky camera. Like you can actually turn on your camera. Okay, and like, just scan the sky, and it will tell you exactly the names of all the stars. Okay.
Okay,
Yes. So
that
if
sounds
I'm not sure.
interesting. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. If you look up in the sky in the evening, and that one bright star that you see, right? There are two bright stars. These stars are actually Venus and Jupiter,
Oh
which we see
my
through
God.
our naked eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I was also very stunned for the first time. This is something which I got to know. Obviously, it was through the internet, I would say. You know, and then I started scanning the sky. This was something which is very recent. I'm talking about. It's so recent, like it's just 3 2 months, I would say, 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like in the previous week itself, I went up on the terrace and scanned the sky and saw where is Jupiter and where is, where is Venus, where is Sun. Okay, so when you scan, like especially in the evening, you'll find that Sun is below you. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so that is something very interesting. If you don't feel like if you're interested, you can check this out. Probably you can develop some interest, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
That sounds interesting. Yeah.
Okay. And tell me about, have you ever made those images from those clouds? You know,
Oh.
you just talked
Uh,
about making patterns from the stars, isn't it? There is also one more thing, like if it is not a very sunny day, right? When it's a normal mild heat, right? In those days, when you see the sky, when the clouds are there, right? Those heavy, puffy clouds, they change patterns. It feels like something is there in that. Sometimes you
yeah.
will
Of
feel,
course.
or sometimes you'll feel maybe there's a baby, there's a fairy, isn't it? Have
Yeah.
you ever
Sure.
made such imaginations?
Uh, I have never made that, but like I explained to you, that those are the days. Those were the days when I used to enjoy a lot with my friends. So whenever I see those things, even today, it it helps me to recall those feelings, those days where I used to do those similar kind of things. And if I talk about drawing patterns, like I explained to you earlier, that I used to find patterns. But what I am trying to mention here is, when it comes to drawing, I am so bad at it that I can't even draw an apple. So if even if I draw an apple, like I have tried sometimes, as a few kids, uh, the daughters or son of my sisters, they would laugh at me that you don't know anything. Yeah, I wanted to share that.
That's great. That's great. Okay, we not everybody can be good at drawing, right? If you're
Yeah.
not good at drawing, I'm sure you must be good at something different. Okay, so what are your hobbies? Like, what do you think you are good at?
Oh, like I explained to you that I used to play cricket a lot. So cricket and music, these two things are there,
Mm-hmm.
which I can enjoy any. Endless number of time.
Okay, wonderful. Cricket.
And what are your hobbies?
Okay, if I talk about my hobbies, I keep discovering hobbies as well. So the recent hobby that I discovered, which is something I just shared with you, gazing the sky, and especially that's in the night time. One of the
Okay.
like evergreen hobby I would say that I have is of reading books. I like reading
Mm.
books, especially those books that brings emotions in me. Okay, that derives that can it's very magical. If you imagine that you're just reading those some patterns printed on those books, and you can actually read them. And while reading, if you are being you're feeling the happiness, you're feeling like you're sad, you're feeling, and the biggest thing is if you cry, right? If
Right.
tears fall down of your eyes, this is one of the strongest emotions that only books can bring you, other than humans, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I can totally relate with that because lately I have found reading a hobby, almost like a hobby, because when I
Hmm.
started working on speaking journey, so I got to know that if I read aloud, it would help me a lot in intonation. So then
Correct.
I started reading, and in
Correct.
last 1.5 years, I have read almost 26 books. So when I started reading, I found that
Huge.
so interesting that whenever I start any book, let's say 100 or 150 pages, I would not, I would finish it in one sitting, whether
Wow.
it takes 12 or 15 hours, or sometimes even less than 10 hours, but I would try to finish it in one sitting.
That's a great achievement, I would say. Even the best of the book readers do not have this ability as that you have acquired. That's great.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right. So now I think the session is about to end. And before we end this session, I would say that you have worked, right? Like there were times when the feelings were very clearly visible on your face and on your the way you were talking, right? When you were
Okay.
talking about your childhood, right? When you were talking about your your drawing, these were the moments where you expressed your emotions fully. Okay.
Okay.
I really want you to express even more. Okay.
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
language
Sure.
is something which is meant to communicate and to express emotions, ideas, and everything, isn't it? It's not
Right.
just the language that we speak, right? It's also with the eyes, it's also with the hands, isn't it? It's also with the tone with which we speak. Okay,
Yeah.
language
Sure.
is not just limited to those sentences and those words and vocabulary. It has much more than that, isn't it?
Yeah. Right.
This is something we have to work on with you in the case of you. And I really want you to express more. Everything is very good with you. You speak well, you use good words, right? But
Okay.
you're very calm, you're very patient. These are all very good qualities. Right? I really
Okay.
appreciate how calm you are, isn't it? I'm getting that calmness and that's those vibes right now.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
but
you. Thank you.
obviously you're a good speaker though. But for improvement, we can definitely emphasize on improving the presentation part and the empathetic part. Okay, so try
Okay.
to talk,
Yeah.
for this suggestion what I would give you, try to talk more about your emotions. Okay, once you
Okay.
learn to talk about your emotions and express them fully. Okay, obviously you're not vulnerable here, you have all those privacy and those security, so that you can talk freely about whatever you feel like, how you feel like. And when you're able to talk about your feelings with the perfect vocabulary, with the perfect, like, if you're happy by getting a gift, you're not going to be happy. The same happy, the level of happiness is not going to be same when you're going to receive an award for something that you've done, isn't
Right.
it? But if you
Yeah.
describe that emotion, you're going to use same word probably. Like, most of the times I was very happy. The first word that comes is happy,
Right.
isn't isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're able to if you're able to express our emotions with the correct word, by by correct word, what I mean is you should know what are the like what are the hierarchy of emotions. What, like, if I'm
Right.
happy, just happy, then it's fine. If I'm very excited about something, I'm elated, right? uh,
Right.
Similarly, you just need to think of, like, let's say if I have cracked a job or something like that, I'm on cloud 9, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the hierarchy we have to think about. We all know things, it's just that we have to practice it and make it our active vocabulary. Okay,
Definitely.
that is something we have to work on. I'll be here to help you in this journey. We come from the same place. It will be very happy and
Yeah.
exciting journey with you in the upcoming sessions for sure. And most
Sure.
probably
Sure.
the next session, I would I would take a session wherein you will be, for 5 minutes you will be teaching one topic. Okay, in
Okay.
those 5 minutes, it could be of your choice. It's not going to be something that I'll be learning, but I will be, giving you a feedback what can be improved in the teaching part. Okay, as
Yeah.
a
Sure.
student perspective, and also from a trainer's perspective for improvement. Okay,
Yeah.
that what
Definitely.
can help you to grab your students, what can help you in, grabbing the attention, how it can be more engaging. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sure you're a
Sure.
quick learner, you'll definitely adapt that. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank
Sure.
you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Have a great day. Same here. I mean, likewise. And see you in another session. Bye for
Sure,
now.
sure. I'll be waiting for
Bye.
you. Bye
Yeah.
bye.